and welcome to my TV show on the YouTube network with a potential audience of over 2 billion people. Coming to you live from the 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica, where I am peacefully protesting and advocating for the homeless here in Santa Monica and in Los Angeles County and in California and the whole US of A, the whole wide world if we could do something about it. But we might as well start right where you are. And I'm here in Santa Monica, California, and I want Santa Monica to stand up and do its part towards ending this housing crisis, this homelessness crisis. And instead of being part of the problem, as Santa Monica has been for generations, Santa Monica needs to be part of the solution and build more affordable housing. So I'm standing up for advocating for the homeless, but I'm also standing up for peace and love and equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all.
Thank you.
Thank you, peace. And standing up against anti-Semitism and hate of all kinds. Here in the United States of America, we can have differences on wars around the world and governments around the world. We can all have different opinions about what's going on in the world. And, you know, it's all right. We can voice those opinions here in the United States of America. And we shouldn't be met with violence or threats of violence because of our political beliefs or our religious beliefs or our gender or race or ethnicity. We all have the same rights in this country, and we need to stand up for the rights of everybody to exist and to thrive and survive in this richest, most powerful democracy in the whole wide world. And we need to stand up for our Constitution and stand up for human rights right here in the United States of America. So we need to stand up against anti-Semitism and anti-Muslimism and Islamophobia and whatever other kind of religious hate or ethnic hate or racial hate there is. We need to stand up against those who are oppressed and keep working towards peace and speaking out towards peace in the Middle East and in Ukraine and Russia and everywhere. But if somebody has a different opinion than you do in the United States of America, and they are voicing that opinion, you cannot meet them with threats of violence or violence. That's not how we do it here in the United States of America. And we have to let every person that is in the United States of America know that you don't use violence for political purposes here in the United States of America. And we do not celebrate assassins or celebrate those who would try to be assassins. We need to stand up for human rights and keep working towards peace and love. And that's why tonight I'm going to start out with a Hebrew prayer for peace. I sang it the other night, but I want to be very clear about where I stand on anti-Semitism. I don't think anybody should promote anti-Semitism. We need to stand up for everybody's right to exist. Oh, say shalom bimramav uya'aseh shalom aleinu. ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרמה Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael Ve'yimru Himru Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael. Thank you, peace. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael. Hoseh Shalom Bimramov Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael Ve'yimru Himru Amen. That's right, that's a Hebrew prayer for peace. And we need to stand up for peace all around the world and for everybody's right to exist. We need to stand up for human rights all around the world. And we may not be able to end this war in the Middle East right from here in the United States of America, but we need to continue to speak for peace, and we need to continue to stand up for everybody's rights to voice their opinions about different things going on in the world without being threatened with violence. That's the beautiful thing about this country, is the First Amendment of our Constitution. And we got to keep talking about that First Amendment every day. Get out and peacefully protest, share your thoughts, share your beliefs. The First Amendment of our Constitution says, Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or of the right of people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. And that's what I'm doing here tonight. I'm peacefully protesting. I'm speaking out for the rights of everybody in the United States of America and standing up for human rights, telling everybody that we need to respect everybody's right to voice their opinions in public without being threatened with violence. Everybody's right to exist, everybody's right to practice their religion and stand up for their religious beliefs or non-religious beliefs. You have a right to make fun of people's religions here in the United States. You can make fun of their religions. You can say, you people don't know what you're talking about. You know, some people have the right to say that I am going to go to hell for eternity. That's their right. But they don't have a right to try to send me there. They don't have a right to commit violence on anybody or threaten people with violence. And we need to stand up for everybody's rights to peacefully protest and speak their minds. And you have a right to speak your mind back too, and that's the beautiful thing about here in the United States of America. That's right. You can say what you think, and we don't have to agree, and that's the beautiful thing. But we got to stand up for that right for everybody to voice their opinions and speak out. You know, the Pearl Street Mall in Boulder, where this terrorist act happened this last weekend. I've been there. I played there back in the 1980s, and I didn't have a microphone or an amplifier at the time, so it wasn't the best for me. I used to play in Denver on the 16th Street Mall when I was there back in the 80s, and I was working at the Comedy Works and other places there in Denver, the Country Dinner Playhouse and other places around Denver. It's a beautiful, beautiful part of our country, beautiful part of the United States, the Rocky Mountains. And we need to stand up for everybody's rights to peacefully protest wherever you are in the United States of America. And we need to get more people out on this public promenade. That's right. This is a public promenade. Some people don't know that. You have a right to be out here. If you are homeless and you are on the public promenade, this 3rd Street promenade, you have the same rights as the richest person in the whole wide world. This is not the Grove. This is not Rodeo Drive. This is not Disneyland. This is a public promenade, and we need to encourage everybody to use it as such, because there aren't too many places like the Pearl Street Mall in Boulder and the 3rd Street Promenade here in Santa Monica. And we need to stand up for everybody's rights to get out and share their thoughts and beliefs on this public promenade. A lot of these business owners, they don't want people out here peacefully protesting or sharing their thoughts or sharing their talents. Now, if you're selling records or things like that, I can understand you needing a permit. But if you're just out here peacefully protesting and sharing your talents or raising donations for the homeless people, as I do here, you don't need a permit, and I will continue to fight against that performer's permit here in Santa Monica. We need to make sure that this place is used by the people and owned by the people. You know, Santa Monica is right next to our public beaches here. We have 800 miles of public beaches here in California, and mostly rich white people living next to those public beaches. Why is that? Santa Monica has done a very good job of making a nice profit off of our public beaches. But you know, the population of Santa Monica in 1970 was 88,000. Today, the population of Santa Monica is right around 90,000. So while the rest of California grew by 20 million people, Santa Monica grew by about 2,000. They said, we got ours, now stay out. And that's right next to our public beaches. We need to make our beaches more accessible to everybody, and we need to make places like this public promenade more accessible. And certainly, Santa Monica, you have to do your part to build more affordable housing, because you haven't been doing it. You've been saying, we got ours, now you poor people stay out. That's right. They've been building some luxury housing here, and hotels and property for tourists and rich people, but they haven't been building affordable housing, that's for sure. See the people living in the street, ain't got no money, ain't much to eat. They're not too proud to take your crust of bread, just looking for some place to lay their weary heads. What's the problem that brought them here? The story's long and it isn't very clear. So many roads lead to the street, just looking for some place to lay their tired feet. saying they ain't done wrong. I ain't saying didn't help to bring it on. I'm just saying there must be somewhere they belong, and they're looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. All these homeless people living in a ditch with all these empty buildings and tax cuts for the rich. I ain't saying you have to give, but everybody has got a right to live, and they're just looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. You can sweep them out your doorway, tear down their tents. Gonna keep on coming if you keep on raising rents. I ain't saying you have to do good, but why don't you try letting homeless people move into your neighborhood, Santa Monica? Looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. One more time with that verse, how about that? You can sweep them out your doorway, tear down their tents. Gonna keep on coming if you keep on raising rents. I ain't saying you have to do good, but why don't you try letting homeless people move into your neighborhood, Santa Monica? Looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. Don't need your swimming pool, don't need your king-size bed, just looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. Hey, hey! That's right, they're just looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads, and we could help them. We could. There's no reason for this homelessness crisis. It's just the rich people been hoarding and making it harder and harder for poor people to have a decent place to live. That's right. It's been going on for generations all around California. We know that California's been propping up their property values for generations. Certainly since 1978 when we passed Prop 13, which made it easier for rich people to hold on to property and harder for poor people to get any. It's been harder since then, and I can't believe we haven't had any progressive leaders that could lead the way to repealing that Prop 13 here in California. We need some real progressive leaders here in California, right here in Santa Monica. And I hope this new city council is going to be doing their job to build affordable housing right here in Santa Monica. I sure hope they do. I'm going to be pushing them to do that. You know, this coming Monday, I'm going to be on a committee that oversees Measure GS money and the funding for that, and oversees how that is spent. So it's my first time on a committee, and I will be learning as I go, but I sure hope I can push those people to build affordable housing. You know, we gave our governor $24 billion to build affordable housing here in California, and they have no idea where that money went. They really cannot account for hardly any of it. And the same is true for the Inside Safe program here in Los Angeles, the city of Los Angeles. They're trying to figure out where that money went. So far, they figure with all the money that was spent, the people that they helped, they could have spent over $100,000 on each person. You know, if you spend $100,000 on a person per year, you can live in a pretty nice place. Anyway, they're still trying to figure out where all that money went. And Judge David O. Carter, who I'm a fan of so far, I hope he can get these people to get something done. But he is trying to sort out where all the money has been going and why we haven't housed more of these people that have been living on the streets. You know, we know in Santa Monica, they've just been pushing the problem down the road. They've tried to say, well, these homeless people are from somewhere else. We don't need to help them. So many of the cities along the coast for generations have said, those people came to our city from somewhere else, so we don't have any responsibility to help those homeless people. Well, most of the people here on the coast have come from somewhere else at some time. That's right. We weren't all born right here, and so you're going to have to take responsibility for your poor people as well as your rich people, Santa Monica. You can't just have, how you doing, Lucia? You can't just take responsibility for the rich people and tell all the poor people to move down the road. And that's what you've been doing for generations, Santa Monica. You've been like so many of the leaders that say, don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor at all. We'll pull the chair beneath your seat and mock you when you fall. We'll tell you that you're crazy and you're on the drugs. We'll say you're mostly lazy and you're filled with bugs. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless, that's what they say. Don't be poor and homeless, just be rich. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and sick. They'll put you in the hospital and spit you out real quick. They'll say you need to rest more and change the way you eat. But they ain't got no medicine to get you off of the streets. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless, just live in a mansion, that's right. How the rich folks want to help you if they could. So they'll take your tent and your bags and stuff and move them to another neighborhood. A little farther, a little farther, a little farther down the road would be good. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't live in your car. They'll find a way to ticket you no matter where you are. They'll say you're near a schoolyard or near a city park. They'll make you move your car all day and give you tickets while you're sleeping in the dark. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just live on a yacht. How the rich folks want to help you if they can. So they'll start a race to outer space to help their fellow man. We are going to build affordable housing up on Mars. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor at all. They'll pull the chair beneath your seat and mock you when you fall. They'll tell you that you're crazy and you're on the drugs. They say you're mostly lazy and you're filled with all kinds of bugs. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just be rich. Don't be poor and homeless. Just be rich. The That's right, homeless people, just be rich. So many of these so many of these leaders say they just got to get a job. So many people say to me, these homeless people just got to get a job. Well, even if they did have a minimum wage job, they couldn't afford a place to live in Los Angeles County. They couldn't afford a place to live, especially here in Santa Monica. That's right. You need to help lift people out of poverty. Either we're going to raise the wages, keep raising the wages, or lower the rents, and nobody wants to do either one of those. Just recently, they voted to raise the wages for hospitality workers in Los Angeles, and they're going to go up to $30 by 2030 or something like that. And all the business owners are saying, oh, we can't do that. That'll tear us apart. Well, what are you going to do? Do you want to just push more people out into the streets, or do you want to have a living wage? We make choices here in this country, and we need to make the choice to help people live a decent life. And that's why we need some real progressive government right here in California. We need some real progressive leaders who want to help lift people out of poverty, who want to stand up for a living wage and rents that people can afford, and getting rid of Prop 13. We need some leaders who are going to say, listen, government can help make a difference in people's lives, can lift people out of poverty, like during the New Deal of the 1930s, during the Great Depression, when Franklin Delano Roosevelt was in power. He wasn't perfect. It was a rough time then, and in a lot of ways we've moved forward today. But at the time, he lifted generations of people out of poverty. And many people look back on that, started a program called Social Security, started a program called unemployment insurance. These things didn't exist before the 1930s. We need leaders who can do things like that today, because we need places for human beings to live. And too many people are sitting back and say, well, we can't. We're going to have a deficit. We're going to be having a deficit, so we can't help the poor people. This is the time to do it. If you're really serious about renewable energy and fighting the climate crisis, you need to get poor people on board. You need to make, how about we make RVs, little RVs that run on electricity and are powered by solar energy, and we give those out for housing. How about that? And then you start making electric currency voltage. What do you call those places? Charging stations. Make charging stations and charging parks where poor people can have their electric-powered RVs that are powered by also by the sun, solar. How about that? We get poor people involved in the renewable energy change instead of making them the scapegoats for why things aren't changing. Because most poor people can't afford these new electric cars. So get them involved by building affordable electric RVs with solar-powered appliances. Have a good night, Ethan. Good to see you. Peace. That's right. We can do great things in this country. They have been done before. Like Franklin Delano Roosevelt said, he said, the test of our progress is not whether we add to the abundance of those who have much. The test of our progress is whether we provide enough for those who have too little. And if that's the test, we're not doing too well, California. We're not doing too well, Santa Monica, Los Angeles County. California, we have the most homeless people of any state in the whole country. And we're supposed to be a progressive government here in California. We need to build affordable housing right here in Santa Monica, right here in California. We're living in California, the land of peace and love. Living in California, place the whole world's dreaming of. Living in California, everything's mostly okay. Living in California, another beautiful sunshine day. Don't let the Trump get you in a slump. We'll get rid of his hump, we're gonna be all right. We're in the land of surf and sand, movie stars, electric cars, and it's a beautiful Santa Monica night. We're living in California with people of all kinds. Living in California, sure we're out a little bit out of our minds. Living in California, things could be a whole lot worse. Living in California, rest of the country's moving in reverse. Let's not follow them. Living in California, everything's mostly all right. Living in California, having fun on the promenade tonight. Now don't get me wrong, we got some great things going on here in California. California is the second most diverse state in the whole country, behind Hawaii. We got people from different backgrounds, different races, different religions, different ethnicities, different beliefs, different genders, all coming together in virtual harmony. But everybody knows there's some things we better get to work on. California, we are the fourth largest economy in the whole wide world. In California, we are ranked 20th in spending on public education. That's a shame, California. California, we have the most billionaires of any state in the whole country. And we have the most homeless people of any state in the whole country. Why is that? That ought to be a crime. There's no reason for so few people to have so much when so many have nothing at all. We can do better than that, California. California, we're the #1 agricultural state in the whole country. We could practically feed the world. And we have people sleeping in the streets. We have poor kids getting a bad education. California, we're ranked about 20th in spending on public education and ranked about 40th in outcome of public education. You know, we have 88 different school districts in Los Angeles County. 80 different school districts, 80 different school districts in the county of Los Angeles. And we have some very good school districts. The kids are doing quite well. But the inner city schools are not doing that well. Los Angeles City Unified, a lot of their schools are not doing that well. And we need to spend more money on those low-income area schools. More money and services on those schools until the rich people want to send their kids to those schools. Then you will know we have done enough. So many people say, well, you can't just throw money at it. Well, keep trying, let's see. You keep spending more money and on the services and programs for those schools, and you'll see the rich people starting to want to send their kids to those schools. And of course, any programs that you need to lift up the people in the community to help them have more stability, help the children to have more stability in those areas. You got to show that progressive government can work and can help lift people out of poverty. It can be done. It's been done before. Don't settle, California. We got to keep working towards a better day for everybody. It's still 10 times more likely for a young black man to go to prison than a young white man in California. That is a shame, California. We have to do better. Too many of our cities are segregating because we're pushing out all the poor people. And when you push out the poor people, you push out people of color. That's just the way it is, because we haven't reached equity yet among the different ethnicities and races. So if you're going to push out all of the poor people out of Santa Monica, you're going to push out a lot of people of color, and that's what's happened for generations here in Santa Monica. That's why Santa Monica is about 70% white, and that's why most of these cities along the coast here in California are mostly rich white people. We need to keep integrating our society because we haven't gotten to equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity yet. We got to keep working towards a better day for everybody. We're living in California with people of all kinds. Living in California, sure out a little bit out of our minds. Ooh. Living in California, things could be a whole lot worse. Living in California, rest of the country's moving in reverse. Ooh. And I'm very thankful that we're going to be rid of Governor Newsom in a couple of years. Let's get a real progressive governor in there who will stand up for the poor and stand up for programs to help lift people out of poverty and house the homeless. Somebody who will take responsibility for government instead of saying, I don't know where the $24 billion went to house the homeless. I don't know what happened. And then Governor Newsom, on top of not knowing where the $24 billion went that was supposed to house the homeless, he sided with Trump's ultra-conservative Supreme Court in the Grants Pass versus Johnson ruling. That's right, he asked that ultra-conservative Supreme Court, he said, he signed a friend of the court briefing, filed a friend of the court briefing, and he said, we need more power here in California, the state government and the cities, and we need more power to criminalize homelessness because we're not building houses, so we got to do something to try to get the homeless people off the streets. I guess he figured he'd fill the jails with them, and that would be one way of ending homelessness. And we don't need somebody like that who says, out of one side of his mouth, he's telling the cities build more affordable housing, and then the other side is saying, please let me criminalize homelessness. And now cities all around the West are criminalizing homelessness. That's right, they have programs here in Santa Monica. A homeless liaison goes around and to people and takes their tents down and says, listen, we'll give you a chance. You can either find housing somewhere else, or we'll put you in jail in 90 days if you don't do a program for 90 days. I don't know where I'm going to check into that program. Hopefully I'll be able to see what that's about, but I know they don't have enough shelter beds here in Santa Monica. They don't have enough affordable housing here in Santa Monica. They don't have enough caseworkers here in Santa Monica. I signed up with a caseworker a few weeks back when they had this homeless outreach thing on the Civic Center parking lot. I signed up. You know, I've been slow to. I was living in my car for a while, and now I float through life. I have friends that I can stay with. But my address is here in Santa Monica, and some of these non-government organizations are here supposedly to help the homeless, but getting help from them sometimes is very difficult. Anyway, so the city had a outreach program on the Civic Center parking lot, and they tried to get homeless people to go there to find different services. So I already thought that I had signed up with a caseworker years ago and never heard from them, but that seemed to not take. But this time I signed up right there at this city outreach, the homeless outreach at the Civic Center over there. And I still haven't heard from that caseworker. I will be looking into these sorts of things as I get on this committee and see if anybody can give any answers about these programs that Santa Monica is behind, and see if any of them are working, or if they're just pushing the people down the road like they've been doing for generations, making it harder for them to survive. We need to do better, California. We need to work towards solutions and not trying to criminalize homelessness. I'm living in California with people of all kinds. Living in California, sure out a little bit out of our minds. Ooh, living in California, things could be a whole lot worse. Living in California, rest of the country's moving in reverse. Let's not follow them. Let's lead the way in the other direction. We don't have to wait for the federal government to raise taxes on the rich and to make sure that everybody can have a decent place to live. We can do better, California. I'm living in California. Everything's mostly all right. Living in California. Having fun on the promenade tonight. Ooh, living in California. The place the whole world's dreaming of. Living in California. Go out and spread some peace and love. Hey, 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 hey. That's right, spread the peace and love. Even if you disagree with me, we all have a right to share our thoughts and beliefs and peacefully protest without threats of violence. We got to keep reminding people of that all the time. That's right. We got to keep debating. We don't, it's a constant work in progress. This country of ours, this democracy. In the beginning, they started off with a constitution. It said, "We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union." Some people thought it was perfect just the way it was back then. And, it only benefited rich white guys who owned property. So some people said, hey, maybe we better keep working on it. Since the beginning of our country, there have been people working to make sure that our Constitution is more inclusive, our democracy is more inclusive, that everybody has equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity. And a lot of people have been working on that since the very beginning. But in the beginning, the Constitution said, "We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution." So they were talking about making things better for everybody, not just the rich and the powerful. We've done a very good job of being kind to the greedy in this country. We have to do a better job of being kind to the needy. There's no reason for rich people to be having space races while poor people are sleeping in the streets. We can do better than that. That's for sure. It's been done before. There was a more narrow gap between the rich and the poor in the 50s than there is today. I'm talking the 1950s. That was what? That was, 75 years ago. So we have not progressed. In some ways, we've gone backwards. In some ways, we've gone forward for the rights of people to exist and for different races to have more rights, and for people of different genders to have more rights, and people of sexual preferences to have more rights. We have moved forward in some of these areas. And that's why we see these rainbow lights up here. This is, we're celebrating Pride Month here in, I guess, the whole country. And that's wonderful, because at one point people were persecuted because of their sexual preferences and how they identified themselves. And we need to stand up for the rights of everybody to be the person they want to be today. That's right, peace. That's right. Stand up. Thank you, peace. You have a great night. We need to stand up for the rights of everybody to become the person they want to be. They don't have to be anybody's idea of you don't have to be folded into anybody's idea of what's right, as long as it's within the laws of this country, the laws of our state and our city. And we keep debating what those laws are. And we keep working to find agreement and make sure that everybody has a right to say in the thing. While we stand up for individual human rights, we have to continue to stand up for individual human rights. That's very important. Let's celebrate you. Let's celebrate me. Let's celebrate all the different ways that we can be. Let's try that again. Let's celebrate you. Let's celebrate me. Let's celebrate all the different ways that we can be. Let's celebrate love and life. Let's celebrate every day that we can stay away from war and strife. Let's celebrate hope. Let's celebrate joy. Let's celebrate all our lovely girls and boys. Let's celebrate love. Let's celebrate love. That's right. We need to celebrate everybody's right to love who they want. Every adult to be able to live the life that they want, as long as they're not hurting other people. We need to be open-minded in this country about people's rights. Everybody gets to explore their own religion every day. You can make up your own religion every day if you want, or your own belief. You don't have to agree with anybody in this country, and that's a beautiful thing. And I hope we do come to some agreements in this country about human rights and keep standing up for the rights of everybody to exist and to be, and not commit violence against people because of their religion or their beliefs or their ethnicity. But we need to continue to stand up for everybody's rights to exist and to be and to explore their own identity and chart their own destiny. Let's celebrate you. Let's celebrate me. Let's celebrate all the different ways that we can be. Let's celebrate love and life. Let's celebrate every day that we can stay away from war and strife. Let's celebrate hope. Let's celebrate joy. Let's celebrate all our lovely girls and boys. Let's celebrate love. Let's celebrate love. Let's celebrate you. Let's celebrate me. Let's celebrate all the different ways that we can be. Let's celebrate all the different ways we can see the world. Let's celebrate all our lovely boys and girls. Let's celebrate hope. Let's celebrate life. Let's celebrate every day we can stay away from war and strife. Let's celebrate love. Let's celebrate love. One more time, everybody sing along. Let's celebrate you. Let's celebrate me. Let's celebrate all the different ways that we can be. Let's celebrate love and life. Let's celebrate every day that we can stay away from war and strife. Let's celebrate hope. Let's celebrate joy. Let's celebrate all our lovely girls and boys. Let's celebrate love. Let's celebrate love. Let's celebrate love. Let's celebrate. Hey, hey. That's right. We got to celebrate everybody's right to become the person they want to be. And you might not like the person somebody else wants to be, but they have that right, and we got to celebrate that and stand up for those rights and continue to move forward and talk to each other and debate subjects without confronting people with violence or threats of violence. That's what it's all about. It's all about peaceful protest in this country. The right of everybody to speak their mind, just like me right out here on this public promenade. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about the only thing my heart needs thinking of. It's about love. It's about peace. It's about a little bit of love and peace at least. Cause when the peace and love are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about hope. It's about joy. It's about bring some home to your little girls and boys. It's about joy. It's about hope. It's about enough hope to keep them off the dope. Cause when the hope and the joy are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about joy. It's about hope. It's about you. It's about me. It's about you and me working towards equality. It's about me. It's about you. It's about saying Black Lives Matter too. Cause when you and me are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about you. It's about me. Se trata de paz, se trata de amor, se trata de paz y amor. Se trata de paz, se trata de amor, se trata de paz y amor. Se trata de paz y amor. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Evenu shalom alechem, evenu shalom alechem, evenu shalom alechem, evenu shalom, shalom, shalom alechem. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about the only thing my heart needs thinking of. It's about love. It's about peace. It's about a little bit of love and peace at least. Cause when the peace and love are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about peace. It's about love. 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 Oh, it's all about love. That's right. It's all about peace and love and spreading it around a little better. Spreading it around a little better. We've done a very good job of being kind to the greedy in this country. We have to do a better job of being kind to the needy. We've done a very good job of being kind to the greedy. We have to do a better job of being kind to the needy. That's right. We got Congress, we got the Senate right now talking about taking people off of Medicare. First of all, there are about 10 states in this country that don't have Medicare for poor people already. Medicaid. Medicare is for old people. Medicaid's for poor people. And there are about 10 states in this country that don't have Medicaid for poor people. And now we have senators talking about taking more people. If they're able-bodied, they shouldn't have any health care, because if they're able-bodied, then they should be working even when they're sick. I guess that's what their thought is. Anyway, you know, they give more and more jobs to these robots and artificial intelligence, and it's harder for people to make a decent living, and they want to push more people off of Medicaid and food stamps. That's right. They want to push more people off of food stamps and make it harder for them just to eat. Well, if they're able-bodied, they should be able to grow their own food, and if they can't, then they should starve. That's what they say. That's what these senators are saying. We need to stand up for the rights of everybody to have the basics in this richest, most powerful country in the whole wide world. There's no reason for poor people to be doing without while the rich people are having space races. We can do better than that. And we need to make sure that while more and more jobs are going to artificial intelligence and robots and different technology, that we stand up for the rights of human beings to be able to exist. We're talking about existence here. We're talking about making it easy enough for human beings just to survive. That's right. We gotta think of helping human beings survive in this technological onslaught that we are in and heading into further. And we need progressive government to help us do that, right here in Santa Monica in California also. I know that the Republicans don't care about poor people and don't want to have programs for the poor. They just want rich people to make money and poor people to shine their shoes or do whatever they ask them to. But that's not the way it should be in this democracy, in this place where we're working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity. We shouldn't live in a servant class and a ruler class. We've got to keep working towards more equal rights. I'm not saying everybody should live in a mansion and eat caviar every day. I'm saying that poor people should be able to have a decent life, and the rich people can do without a little bit of what they have. We need to just raise taxes on the rich, 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 raise taxes on the rich. Oh, I know it's a simple song, but it's a good one, ain't it? It's a good one. And one that we need to teach our leaders, our public servants. We need to tell them to start singing that song. And a lot of people say, well, we're not going to be able to do that with Trump in office. Well, here in California, we don't have to wait on anybody. We don't have to wait on Trump. We need leaders to stand up right here in California and raise taxes on the rich right here in Santa Monica. Raise taxes on empty and vacant buildings here in Santa Monica. Raise taxes on buildings used for tourism and speculation. And make sure that you build the affordable housing that you've been talking about building for years, instead of putting in pickleball courts to a lot where you tore down a parking structure, and you're supposed to start building affordable housing. Instead, they put pickleball courts in there. Let me speak. I don't like pickleball. I'm not a fan. It grew during the pandemic. They closed down basketball courts for young, healthy people, and they put in pickleball courts. And that's right. We need cities like Santa Monica to do its part and build the affordable housing that they've been talking about building for decades. And they're supposed to build 4,500 affordable housing units by 2029. That's what they said in 2022. We'll see. I don't think they've come close to any number like that. I'm going to find out this week, hopefully I can get some more information about it. But we need to do a better job. We don't have to wait for Trump to be out of office to do good things right here. Tell your city council, tell your supervisors, your county supervisors in Los Angeles County, tell your governor to raise taxes on the rich right now, to raise taxes on houses used for profit and speculation. Los Angeles is talking about raising taxes on houses that are owned by corporations. I think that's a wonderful idea, something that Santa Monica should do as well. Houses that are bought up by corporations and used to make money, renting these out and make more money and more money. We need to raise taxes on those kind of people until we get out of a housing crisis. That's what we're in, folks, a housing crisis, a homelessness crisis. We can do better. We don't have to settle for things the way they are. In the twilight glow I see blue eyes crying in the rain. When we said goodnight and parted, I knew we'd never meet again. Love is like a dying ember, only memories remain. Through the ages I'll remember blue eyes crying in the rain. Someday we will meet up yonder. We'll stroll hand in hand again. In the land that knows no parting. Blue eyes crying in the rain. Thank you.
Excellent, my friend.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, young lovers, whoever you are. I hope your troubles are few. Thank you. I'll be sharing that with the homeless. Thank you very much. We'll keep working towards a better day. Keep spreading the peace and love. All my good wishes go with you tonight. Thank you, peace. I've been in love like you. Be brave, young lovers. yours and follow your star. Be brave and faithful and true. Cling very close to each other tonight. I've been in love like you. I know how it feels to have wings on your heels and to fly down the street in a trance. You fly down the street on a chance that you meet, and you meet not merely by chance. Don't cry, young lovers, whatever you do. Don't cry because I'm alone. All my good wishes go with you tonight. I've had love of my own. I know how it feels to have wings on your heels and to fly down the street in a trance. You fly down the street on a chance that you meet, and you meet not merely by chance. Don't cry, young lovers, whatever you do. Don't cry because I'm alone. All my good wishes go with you tonight. I've had a love of my own. I've had love of my own like you. I've had a love of my It's very clear our love is here to stay. Not for a year, but ever and a day. The radio and the telephone and the movies that we know may just be passing fancies, and in time may go. But oh my dear, our love is here to stay. Together we're going a long, long way. Thank you, peace. In time the Rockies may crumble, Gibraltar may tumble, they're only made of clay. But our love is here to stay. It's very clear. Our love is here to stay. Not for a year, but ever and a day. The radio and the telephone and the movies that we know may just be passing fancies, and in time may go. But oh my dear, our love is here to stay. Together we're going a long, long way. And then the Rockies may crumble, Gibraltar may tumble, they're only made of clay. But our love is here. It's very clear, our love is here to stay. And here's one more dance song for the lovers. We'll keep working towards a better day, equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for everybody. And we gotta sing and dance and love. sway, like the lazy ocean hugs the shore. Hold me close, sway me more, like a flower bending in the breeze. Bend with me, sway with ease. When we dance, you have a way with me. Stay with me, sway with me. Other dancers may be on the floor, dear, but my eyes will see only you. Only you have that magic technique. When we sway, I grow weak. I can hear the sound of violence long before it begins. Making me thrill as only you know how. Sway me smooth, sway me now. Sway me, bend me, thrill me, kiss me. Other dancers may be on the floor, dear, but my eyes will see only you. Only you have that magic technique. When we sway, I grow weak. I can hear the sound of violence long before it begins. Making me thrill as only you know how. Sway me smooth, sway me now. Sway me now. Sway me now. Sway me now. Have a great night. Peace. Once upon a time, a girl with moonlight in her eyes held her hand in mine and said she loved me so. But that was once upon a time, very long ago. Once upon a time, we sat beneath a willow tree, counting all the stars and waiting for the dawn. But that was once upon a time, now the tree is gone. How the breeze ruffled through her hair, how we laughed as though tomorrow wasn't there. We were young and never had a care. Where did it go? Once upon a time, the world was sweeter than we knew. Everything was ours, how happy we were then. But somehow once upon a time never comes again. How the leaves ruffled through her hair, how we laughed as though tomorrow wasn't there. We were young and never had a care. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Once upon a time, the world was sweeter than we knew. Everything was ours, how happy we were then. But somehow once upon a time never comes Take my hand, I'm a stranger in paradise, all lost in a wonderland, a stranger in paradise. If I stand starry-eyed, that's a danger in paradise for mortals who stand beside an angel like you. I saw your face and I ascended out of the commonplace into the rare. Somewhere in space I hang suspended until I find there's a chance that you care. Won't you answer the fervent prayer of a stranger in paradise? Don't leave me in dark despair from all that I hunger for, but open your angel arms to this stranger in paradise and tell him that he need be a stranger no more. I saw your face and ascended out of the commonplace into the rare. Somewhere in space I hang suspended until I find there's a chance that you care. Won't you answer the fervent prayer of a stranger in paradise? Don't leave me in dark despair from all that I hunger for, but open your angel arms to the stranger in paradise and tell him that he need be a stranger no more. Beautiful song. I'm going to get all those chords right one time, but not this time. That's right, we got to keep on working towards getting all the chords right. We're not going to have perfection today or tomorrow, but we can keep working towards a better day for everybody. Oh, I have to play this song tonight because I was thinking about this song, 1913 Massacre, written by Woody Guthrie. And it's about coal miners and unions, starting unions. And I was thinking, look, they got these Bitcoin miners. They're mining for Bitcoin, and everybody's talking about the Bitcoins and the new currencies, cryptocurrencies. And these people have to mine for Bitcoins. I wonder if these miners have started any unions, miners' unions, and how many of these people are used slave labor for their Bitcoin mining, just like people have used slave labor for mining all around the world for generations, forever. And it's still going on in some places. And we need to stand up against such things like that. A lot of people say there are good things about these cryptocurrencies, but I haven't seen anything that's altruistic about them. They don't stand for a minimum wage. They don't stand for people's rights to unionize or people's rights to have decent life here in the United States. It seems like it's just a way for greedy people to get more greedy and take advantage of the poor. And I've had too many friends that I know that have been swindled through PayPal and Bitcoin and all of these things. Anyway, this is a song called 1913 Massacre. It's about unionizing. It's about unions and the miners' strikes back in 1913. And Woody Guthrie wrote it. Take a trip with me to 1913, to Calumet, Michigan, in the Copper Country. I'll take you to a place called Italian Hall, where the miners are having their big Christmas ball. I'll take you through a door and up the high stairs, singing and singing and laughter are heard everywhere. I'll let you shake hands with the people you see. How you doing? Good to see you, please. Thank you. I'll be sharing that with the homeless. Thank you very much. I'll let you shake hands with the people you see and watch the kids dance around the big Christmas tree. Peace. You ask about work and you ask about pay. They'll tell you they make less than $1 a day, working their copper claims, risking their lives. So it's fun to share Christmas with their children and wives. You'll hear them, there's laughing and talking and songs in the air, and the spirit of Christmas is there everywhere. After a while, you're friends with us all, and you're dancing around and around in the hall. Well, a little girl sits down by the Christmas tree lights to play the piano, so you gotta keep quiet to hear all of the fun. You would not realize that the copper boss's thugs are mingling outside. Well, the copper boss thug sticks his head in the door, and one of them yelled and he screamed, "There's a fire." A lady, she hollered, "There's no such a thing. Keep on with your party, there's no such a thing." Well, a few people rushed, but there was only a few. It's just the thugs and the scabs fooling you. One man, he took his daughter down, but the thugs held the door and they couldn't get out. A few other people followed, 100 or more, but most everybody remained on the floor. The copper thugs laughed at their murderous joke, and the children smothered on the stairs by the door. Such a terrible sight I never did see. We carried the children back up to their tree. The copper thugs laughed at their murderous spree, and the children that died there were 73. The piano played a slow funeral tune, and the city lit up by a cold Christmas moon. The parents, they cried, and the miners, they moaned. See what your greed for money has done. That's right, that actually happened in 1913 in Calumet, Michigan. A bunch of children were smothered at this place where they were locking the doors, and these people got locked in, and they were having a Christmas party. Their union was the copper miners there in Calumet, Michigan. So we have to stand up for the right of people to unionize and have a decent life, and we need to stand up. We need to stand up for everybody to have a living wage in this country. Make unions obsolete by making sure that everybody can have a decent life. But until then, we have to rely on unions to help people stand up for their rights. And so if you're mining bitcoins, I hope you're forming a union for your miners. Even though the Bitcoin uses more energy to produce than the country of the Netherlands. I don't know that we need all these cryptocurrencies, but we'll keep working towards a better day for everybody. Keep standing up for equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity, health care for all. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. We don't need another medal. Arnold Weiss passed away today. We made a recording of this song with Michael Walsh and Ellen Bullinger, and Arnie Weiss played the drums on it. Arnold Weiss used to play drums for Bill Evans and many others, and he was a great drummer, great guy, and sorry for his passing. But we recorded this song. Michael Walsh at his Smooth Spot recording studio recorded this song with Arnie and Ellen Bullinger. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. We don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. We don't need another meadow. There are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow. There are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine. So listen, Lord, if you want to know what the world needs now is love, sweet love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. What the world needs now is love. That's right. So we just got to keep spreading the love around, making sure that everybody can have the basics in this richest, most powerful country in the world. Keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity, health care for all, housing the homeless, common sense gun laws. We can do great things in this country. Tell your leaders, your public servants. We haven't gotten there yet, so we got to keep moving forward, keep working towards a better day for everybody. There must be lights burning brighter somewhere. Got to be birds flying higher in a sky more blue. If I can dream of a better land where all my brothers walk hand in hand, tell me why, oh why can't my dream come true? Oh, why? And there must be peace and understanding somewhere. Strong winds of promise that blow away all the doubt and fear. If I can dream of a warmer sun where hope shines down on everyone, tell me why, oh why won't that sun appear? We're lost in a cloud with my train. We're trapped in a world that's troubled with pain. But as long as a man has the strength to dream, he can redeem his soul and fly. Deep in my heart, there's a trembling question. Still I am sure that the answer's gonna come somehow. Out there in the dark, there's beckoning candle, and while I can think, while I can talk, while I can stand, while I can walk, while I can dream, feeling my dream come true right now, right now. Peace and love.
Nadie le quiere dar medicina, te lo voy a dar. No te lo quieren